The UK is now officially the second most miserable country on the planet. This is a survey of 71 countries, including some of the poorest places on the planet. And I think I know why. These things. Happiness, for me, is when our life matches where we envisaged, where we thought it would be.
Household bills could rise by almost £270 in April. Sky News analysis suggests that might as well just say Corky said this months ago. The typical household could see major bills rise by almost £270 by April. So it says the increasing cost of energy, water and council tax would outstrip inflation and add pressure on family budgets. The first impact will be felt from New Year's Day, the domestic energy price cap rising for the second time this winter. Lovely. A household paying by direct debit using the typical amount of gas and electricity will pay an extra £21 or 1.2% a year, increasing their bill to £1,738. And then it's going to be more pain in April. When your energy analysis Cornwall Insight predict bills will rise by a further £52 a year to reach £1,790, an increase of 3%. And April is going to be a tough month for a struggling household. Then you add your grocery tax, then your council tax, your water, food increasing, your holiday tax, home insurance and car insurance, to name a few. Then don't forget, if you've got an internet provider or phone provider, the CPI, what's that, 4%, 3.9% usually, and then they add whatever on top. I could go on and on and on. But apparently, the budget was an amazing thing. It's going to help everybody. Do you know what I mean? Some people were laughing, stitching my video, then laughing, saying, oh yeah, the budget's brilliant. What are you talking about? All you people who were criticising Labour, who's laughing now? I told you what would happen. It's going to come full circle and bite you on the arse. And then if you want that pay rise to cover the cost of all these bills increasing, when you go to work and ask for your pay rise and you get 1 or 2% because they pay more national insurance now, so they're not going to give you the big pay rises anymore. Your 5%, your 10%, all that stuff. So yeah, you look a bit silly now, don't you? Knock yourself to some humble pie in the fridge.
Yes. Oh. Is it me, or does it feel like in this country, struggle is starting to become normalized? I was just thinking about it. Jobs are the hardest they are to get. People can barely afford to rent. People can barely afford to even think about purchasing a house. Grocery prices are still high. Services are either being cut or the price of them are increasing, whether it's dentist appointments or GP prescriptions or eye prescriptions. It's like everything is going in the direction of struggle, and we're just meant to accept it. First, the government blamed COVID. Then they blamed conflict in other countries. Now it seems like things have just gone quiet, and it's like, you know what? This is what the situation is now. It's like every other week we're being told something is going wrong in this country, whether it's the NHS being on the brink of collapse, or prisons being too full, or interest rates still at an iffy level, and we're just meant to accept it. And to be honest, we don't stand on business enough to protest for it to really mean anything. But I don't know. I have my own conspiracy theories, innit? My theory is certain mad things are going to start happening in the next 5 to 10 years. And we're being conditioned to accept negativity. We're being conditioned to accept horrible conditions. And if we don't wake up soon, we are pissed. So yeah, I can't be the only one thinking this, but just keep your eyes open, because I'm not enthusiastic about how things are going right now.
Is it time for revolution in the UK? Have the UK people had enough of everything that's happening in this country? Taxes are going up every single year. Wages are not increasing at all. The price of fuel is going up. The price of food is going up. Everything is going up. The cost of living is getting harder and harder and higher and higher. So the question is, have the UK people had enough? Because the government aren't going to sort it out. You must have realized by now that the government does not work for the people. It is not doing its job. It is not doing what it's supposed to do, which is make the country better for the people, in the interests of the people. The government is just lining its own pockets and lining the pockets of its investors all the time while they lie to our faces. So have the UK people had enough?
I'm fed up with being an adult. Like, I'm so fed up. I've literally just got paid and my money's gone. Like, I've literally just got paid, like literally 3 minutes ago, and my money is gone. Like, gone. Nothing. Now I've got to wait a month to get more money just for it to be gone again. Like, is this actually life? Like, I can't be asked for this. Like, at this point, it's literally just... Because what the fuck, mate? This is not the life to be living. I might as well just quit work, go on benefits full time, have it out. Fuck it, mate. Claim the old mental health like everyone else does and be away with it. I'll be rolling in it, because fuck this shit.
Welcome to the UK, where everyone queued up today is guaranteed to spend a minimum of £50 on a one-day shop. So let's see. I'm presuming that this stuff here, come. I believe that this is going to be around £60, right? This looks like it's £30 worth of stuff, but I assume it's going to be 60. So let's see at the till. As you can see, my shopping has come up to a total of £59. It is £10 cheaper than what I thought it would be, but this is still completely unacceptable. Keir Starmer, you said you were going to do better. You're moving worse than Rishi Sunak. I'm starting to think I want Rishi Sunak to come back, because what is this? What is this? £60 for some nuts. I want to eat healthy and I want to snack healthy, but apparently it's more expensive. Do something.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Off you go. Be proud, off you go. Off you go. Off you go.
Wait,
Yeah, I will do. Off you go. Enjoy.
My small business is failing, and on the outside it might look like everything is going well and I'm making lots of orders, but I'm just not. Sales haven't been anywhere near as strong as they have the last few years. Our wonky wick sale usually sells out within hours, but this year it's been going on for weeks and I still have loads left. I'm seriously considering closing down my website. As much as I try not to pin my self-worth on how well my business is doing, sometimes it's really tough, and my mental health has suffered.
Just another reason we're leaving this country. I'm using the income that I paid tax on to buy fuel that I paid tax on, to put in a car that I paid tax on, to drive on a road that I paid tax on. I've had enough.
This morning, our food bank received a devastating phone call. A local mother was begging for help for her child. She asked for nappies, formula, wipes, yoghurt and baby food. Despite the fact that she hadn't eaten in days, she didn't ask for any food or anything for herself. Today, she's receiving 2 weeks worth of food.
Does anybody else do this really weird thing where they pull up to the supermarket and then just sit in the car because they don't want to go in? Because I know if I go in, I'm going to spend 70, 80, 90 quid on a food shop, and then I'll have to do a top-up shop in a few days' time, which will be another 20, 30 quid. And by the time I get home, all the grapes are going to be mouldy. All the food will be mouldy and gone off. Every single time I turn my car on, there's a new light beeping. I've just been to the garage and we need 2 new tyres putting on, so there's money gone. Down to the last drop of petrol. I'm just surprised my car's still going, to be honest. My partner works full time. We've just put our daughter in nursery so that I could go back to work part-time freelance, but it's just not enough. Like, every single time you make a bit more extra money, everything in the world goes up again and you're just constantly playing catch up.
No. We're completely fucked, We're completely fucked.
Controversial take again. I honestly think there are few worse countries than the UK in which to be a parent and raise your child or children. I think it's got to be one of the worst countries to raise a family. On multiple fronts, from the very cold weather and poor daylight hours, especially in winter, so planning everything is an absolute nightmare. It's exceptionally lonely being a parent in the UK, even if you have a supportive partner, because of the hours that people are expected to work and the output that goes out into just sustaining a pretty average lifestyle, I would say, for most people. So it's so difficult to really enjoy the experience of having a family. There's no community support for most people unless they have healthy, viable, extended family members who are willing to actually help, and that is rare. There's no real sort of solidarity among other mums and parents because everybody's just trying so damn hard to make a living. Healthcare is almost non-existent. GPs don't do anything anymore. You're lucky if you get a telephone consultation. My daughter wasn't well on the weekend. We got to A&E and they said they were so inundated, even in paediatrics, and they didn't have enough doctors, that because they didn't think she was so bad, they couldn't see her. And we drove round, and lucky enough, we were very lucky that we could go and pay privately for her to be seen. And it really beggars belief as to really what is the appeal here for people with young families. I have no shock that so many of my patients, whole groups of families, have got up and moved to other countries like Dubai and Spain, because it is so much better for people with young families. And I was looking around the A&E. We have a hugely aging, declining population. We have very little resources to look after them and keep the economy going. Yet the powers that be and the British government don't seem really to care two stuffs about people working damn hard, trying to raise their family and trying to, through their taxes, contribute to basic services which are now non-existent. I know this is a bit of a rant, but I just wanted to share that. I don't know if any of you feel the same way. I mean, I could go on and be even more savage. I'm holding back here just to be professional. But I really don't understand what the appeal is. And it's been a long time I felt this way. I think COVID, Brexit first and then COVID was really the two big death hammers to anything that the UK can offer. And there's a big irony to me looking at the people who serve in our hospitals as nurses, doctors, assistants, porters. Most of them are foreign immigrants and they're caring for an elderly population, you know, native, if you like, who probably would block them coming into the country. I just find it so ironic. Am I the only person that thinks this way? Please tell me.